1998. I mean,
and Eric and I are friends. And something happened with Eric. Eric came to visit me. Well, his mother called my mother, and they were crying. Okay, they were doing that mother thing. That's what mothers do.
I think that's very beautiful. That brings me to a piece I'd like to share with you, and it's simply entitled "Without Woman." And I was thinking about my mother, my grandmother, and all the other mothers and grandmothers in our community. Without woman. Woman, as the mother of man, represents the power of the Almighty's hand. Through all the love, joy, pain, sorrow, and strife, woman is the lifeline of all human life. For where there is no she, there can be no he. And where there is no us, there can be no we. Only through the womb of woman's body and mind can man see himself in another place and time. There can be no woman, there can be no man. Without woman is co-creator in God's master plan. For he who is without woman can never be made whole until he's learned to love from the depths of his soul. And though love can sometimes make you cry, yet while you laugh, man and woman will always be each other's better half. For where there is no she, there can be no he. And where there is no us, there could be no we without woman.
Hey, Danny, I have to get Eric. Eric has his book, Love Letters, Death Threats, and Suicide Notes. And he called me and he said that he had wanted me to read something. And
yes, please. I want you to read a piece.
And his piece is called Open Letter. And this is, I thought it was so interesting because I don't think that I could ever reveal my emotions that way about just what it is to be a man and to be loved. Right. And Eric, could you
sure.
Please.
Open Letter?
This poem's called Open Letter. It's from my book, Love Letters, Death Threats, and Suicide Notes. I cry out with voiceless screams from the wombs of single mothers to be. Through street corner libations, from dilapidated schools and special ed programs, from colleges and boardrooms to penitentiaries and graveyards. Do you hear me? I said, do you hear me? I bear the burdens of generations on calloused hands and bruised feet. The scars of slavery cover my mind and manhood like a parasite devouring all of who I am and what I could be. Do you hear me? I said, do you hear me? Sister, your tears and screams still haunt me. Haunt me when they separated us, made me watch while they beat and raped you. And you curse me. Curse me for not protecting you, not fighting and dying together on native soil before they defiled you. Do you hear me? I said, do you hear me? From mandingos chasing forbidden fruit to southern trees bearing strange fruit. I've been castrated and brutalized, profiled and identified. I've been eaten by Dharma, digested by America, and regurgitated in Susan Smith fairy tales. Do you hear me?
Come on.
I said, do you hear me? I've been devilish and divine, gangster and God, martyr and myth, pimp and prophet, abuser and protector, womanizer and faithful. I've been whomever or whatever you've asked of me, expected of me, demanded of me, allowed of me. Sisters, ask me. Ask me to touch and hold you when you don't feel like making love, and I'll embrace you as if I could penetrate your soul. Demand me. Demand me to be friend before lover, and making love will be a spiritual exodus, chasing strawberries and honey across your promised land. Expect me. Expect me to be lover, husband, father, provider, and protector, and I'll make the earth your pedestal and the eternal heavens your throne. Allow me. Sisters, simply allow me to be a man. Thank you.
That's beautiful, brother. Thank you. What were you thinking of? Before you wrote that.
Actually, the poem was since written to my wife. We were going through a lot of changes and whatnot, and it was trying to provide some context to the things and issues that black men carry with them and the burdens that black men carry with them. It was not trying to make a rationale for myself or any other brother, because we don't need any rationales, we don't need any excuses. It's just trying to provide some context and understand, okay, this is my reality, and this is what I'm coming out of, and I want to love you and I want to be there for you, you know. And, you know, all these things get heaped on us, and we get caught up in this vacuum of, you know, loving our woman, and we can't relate. You know, we can't share our marriage because we're not supposed to as black men. That's the one reason why I wrote the book, because it was trying to show another side of black men because of the different imagery that destroys black men. You know,
that we get from
the media and everywhere, in the school systems everywhere. And so, you know, it was trying to tear down this veil. I mean, we put it on ourselves also as black men, because we're taught that we have to be hard and we have to do this and we have to relate this way, and we can't cry and we can't show emotion. You know, I remember the first time I cried in front of my wife. We were boyfriend and girlfriend, college sweethearts, and I remember when the Gulf War started, and my buddies, and I was actually protesting the Gulf War. You know, I was an activist, student activist, and I was going out because I felt that the way what was going to come out of it was a lot of brothers were going to die, and a lot of brothers were going to be exposed to chemical warfare, which they were. Yeah. And we knew, and then we were just now finding out about it. And I was protesting, and I was angry, and I was very angry, and I was hurt, because I was like, you know, one of my best friends was in the reserve. He got sent out there, and, you know, it was hurting me, and I cried. You know, that was the first time I ever cried in front of her, you know. And I don't have a problem, you know, men should be able to cry in front of their mates. Right. You know, and not feel that that's interesting to say that. And not feel that it lowers you or belittles you as a man. Yeah. You know, I studied Taekwondo for several years. I know what you're saying. You take care of yourself. So it's not about that. It's not about that. You know what I mean?
But Eric, you know, being a cashier, you know, y'all cried and dropped.
Oh yeah, we cried and dropped tears. I never seen you cry. You know what I mean? And this brother's been working with me for a while, and you know, when I was doing all the militant poetry, my poetry really dealt with the activism side. Right. He kept on saying, "This isn't you. This isn't you. When are you going to write about? You're writing about everybody else, these other issues, but you're not dealing with things that are affecting you." Right. And so, you know, with this new book, that's what I did with this. It's kind of a lot of things came to pass, and I just had to let a lot of things go.
It's good you say that, because a lot of brothers feel like we can't cry. I ain't gonna be boo-hooing in front of everybody.
Oh no, you know, you got to be selective. Exactly. Not me. I go for it. I go for it.
Yeah, I'm a crying poet.
Within the context of my book, it was aimed at one of the things, the main, I guess, the innovate, the push thing, the thing that pushed it out there was I wanted to be able to reach a lot of young ladies who I've seen hurt. And from a position of a father or an older brother, you don't want, they need that father who's not trying to get in their pants, that brother who's trying to say, listen, I want you to be okay. I don't have any other ulterior motive, nothing. I want to see you all right.
And that's the way it should be.
Exactly. And I put a poem together with regard to that. I heard I was just touched by yours. And like you said, it's only when you get to the heart of you. And what makes so this is for every young lady out there who hasn't had the benefit of having a father find out just how wonderful they've become.
Or that big brother.
Exactly. Or that big brother, or that well-meaning uncle who cares. That male who wants to see you do well. You are my daughter and I love you.